This is FNGR, and the other day on Twitter, some guy that some of my fans and friends legit thought was Toon Critic. He reached out to Keyframe, DeWilstonator, and I think Golden Fox. Believe it or not, this is not a troll. No, this is not a practical joke. And I see your concerns. Zack was labeled and exposed as a pedophile for what he has done. And I do find that as problematic for this account to flourish properly. But what is an adventure if you don't take risks? Create a new image for Toon Critic's name? I have no interest of causing any unnecessary problems, just to make a new of what once passed. If you don't find there is a way to do so, then that's okay. You don't have to like what I do. Zack Keys is not back, for I am someone hoping to scrub clean his previous impacts in the community. Yes, I do see it would much rather be more suitable to create a different account rather than just use Toons. But what I'm hoping to accomplish here is to... you get the idea. It was not designed to upset anyone, despite the fact that the individual in question is 17, claims not to have any mental impairments or disabilities, and was not under any narcotic influence. To say this is unfortunate is putting it mildly. I will be sharing this story today so that people in the future might not try this sort of thing again. Please do not bully or harass. I guess we'll call him Ghost based on his Twitter, which I will include down below. Again, we all make mistakes, and hopefully some of you will see this and make a few less. Also, before we get going, yesterday, Button's Eye and Twilight Star, as well as an individual named Headlong of Equistria, had a sit-down discussion that I posted over on Fanon Frenzy. I'm going to play a brief 5-second clip here.
You assholes are doing all this because you're fucking Nazis and you're fucking terrorists! Fuck off!
The Fanon Frenzy call picks up at about 17 minutes 36 seconds. There's a timestamp in the description below of that video for the headlong call. If you're looking for a less civil discussion, I suggest going over there and then. Today's call is very civil, understanding, and I hope to hear from all of you soon.
So, I guess I'll just record. This is FNGR, joined by Buttons and some gentleman who allegedly is making a misplaced point about, there's some kind of altruistic reason that you're, taking up the Toon Critic moniker. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so I was reading through some of your tweets the other day, and I saw you follow me on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I should probably nip this in the butt. I've seen a couple of trolls like pick up the Toon Critic thing, and by the time I got around to it, I realized a month or two had passed, and they hadn't really gained any traction, and I was like, I won't say anything, but since many of my friends decided to flip the fuck out, and be like, oh god, what if it's really Zack? I'm like, well, I doubt it. But,
yeah,
I mean,
like I said last night, it really...
It would be highly unlikely that he just suddenly found the Yarbrals to come out right now, but, you could understand we're contacting Toon's old friends as Toon. I mean, there was this one gentleman at BronyCon who was dressed up as cartoons and had the selfie stick and was taking pictures next to Keyframe really without permission. I felt that was kind of pushing it, but not exact. It was in the ballpark of gauche. It certainly was, and I think you're a little bit past that by, going up and be like, hey, this is such and such, and I'm like,
Yeah. I explained it to him last night. Basically, his idea from what he explained to me, which I told him was a bad idea, was he wanted to remake the Toon Critic name into something positive of what it used to be or should have been. And I explained to him, while you want to make a positive change in the community or bring something to it, being Toon Critic of all things is because whether we want to like it or not, Toon Critic wasn't just a character; he was an actual person.
No, hold up, I could come up again. My brand of analysis is examples. Imagine if a young, well-intentioned, bright-eyed, African American comedian decided, I would like to take a second stab at being Bill Cosby. I want you to think about that for a minute. That sounds stupid, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say it was a good idea.
Well, there you go. That's I understand that this character is more fictional and what have you, but is this your first crack at the YouTube apple, so to speak?
Well, Not necessarily.
I was
A
about
few
to
years
say,
ago-
yeah. If this was your very first try, my God, man, I do respect the chutzpah, the confidence that you had to try to do this, but I probably would have started a bit lower. If this had been someone truly talented, I'd have been like, okay, it's your funeral, I'll be sitting there watching, but I feel kind of obligated to go up to you in advance and going, nah, I think you need to surrender the basketball or the football or whatever proverbial metaphorical sporting device that would put you in charge of the situation. This is a poor design. And when was this coming out? Tentatively speaking?
I'm coming out as in...
I thought there was a video, or was this just text, or what?
Oh, no, yeah, in a sense, I was hoping to get a little bit of a start on Twitter first, just make a few little basic tweets about how things were coming along, and I probably should have explained a bit more before that what my true intentions were.
Okay, hold it. Again. Twitter is perhaps the worst place in the world to convey an idea, because Lord be willing that people have all these different opinions and thoughts, and God forbid, you get swarmed by like 10, 20, or even 100 different people pulling you in multiple different directions, where you'll need a fucking chart to goddamn explain and talk to everyone in a calm manner without losing your patience. It's a nightmare. It is absolutely... I can understand. Like, you'll definitely get an interest, but if you're trying not to be misunderstood, Twitter, not so much on that one. Yeah. I could be wrong. I'm sure that there's some people who could do it, but for a first bite at the apple, whew, you are swimming uphill.
Yeah.
Yes,
I would suggest, like I said, I could help you make a character. I could pay for someone to make you a character.
Oh, no, please, you don't, no.
Well,
No,
you said
I
that
couldn't accept that.
you're not of age, so you don't have a PayPal yet, I don't think. But I mean, it's not that much money, and if it'll get you away from the Toon Critic idea, I would be glad to help.
If you'd have been a truly terrible person, I would have said, all right, step on the gas. But you seem cool, so we're going to try and talk you out of this one.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
No, he's already been talked out of it. He's
All
changed
right.
his name to Francis and everything, but
I'm reminded of that South Park episode where they show freaking Eric Cartman that don't dress up as Hitler. Sorry for anyone listening. I don't throw around the Hitler moniker as a fucking willy-nilly, but the example fits pretty good here, and I could just see. Believe it or not, there were 3 Toon Critic cosplayers at freaking goddamn BC, but that everyone understood. They're being edgy. They're not really talking to anybody. They're kind of keeping to themselves. They're taking some pictures. It's good fun in bad taste, and I could tell certain people were like, but the fact that you were specifically reaching out to old friends and putting on at least it looked like at first, where those people were being in touch, and I was starting to be tapped on the shoulder, and I was like, it's a troll, I think, and then I saw the side account, and I was like, I also noticed that you were following, I think, a side Toon Critic account on Twitter, or they were following you. This isn't coordinated, this is just you, right?
I'm not sure who that other Toon Critic is, no.
Okay. Because I know that there was one dude who blasted Cult of Personality when he came out, and he was doing the cartoons things, and it was more like a, haha, I got you, and I was like, and then everything after that was all downhill. Because he didn't have the personality to carry it. I'm like, you had the guts, but you didn't have the anything else. Absolutely nothing else to carry that. And I was like, well...
He had the balls.
No, he certainly had the balls. Advice for, I'd have to talk to you long enough before I could sit there and give an explanation on what defines or what... You're probably going to have to stumble and fall first before you get a gist of what you're good at.
Yes.
Yeah, and now I'm not going to say that people can't replicate some of the things that Toon did that weren't terrible. The charisma, the getting to know and connecting with people, those are things that I feel that at least on some levels are fundamentally basic, that are very well done. But I would probably caution against that. if you started to pretend to be Toon, you were lacking in those skills right at this point. If you could see what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Toon wouldn't even come back as Toon at this point. Holy God. Yeah.
He did try coming
Yes.
back, but he was at least slightly smarter than we had hoped.
Yeah.
He
No,
was
we
as
found
dumb
out,
as-
thankfully. But that's
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't even begin to know. How long have you been a brony?
Let's see here. I'm awfully blurry on my first few memories of bronyhood, one might say. But
Well, what season? No, that's easier.
it was near the end of season 3 towards the start of season 4.
Ah, he's been going a little bit, well, yeah, a little bit longer than me, because I came in during the drought of season 3, season 4, so,
Ouch.
yeah. Well,
Or
I
was
had,
it?
yeah, I had 3 seasons to catch up on, plus all the fan content, but by the time season 4 did roll around, believe me, I was ready to go. Not like this breakneck speed these days you damn blasted kids have, but,
I think you'll like the new season.
yeah, but who do you admire in the community?
As a whole, or as of differential purposes?
Well, I'm assuming you wanted to fix the Toon critic thing, so
Oh,
I'm
obviously.
assuming we're fans of the analysis community, perhaps.
About 75%.
That's reasonable.
Just don't be fans of the wrong people.
No, I'm
that's all.
you do you. That's fine. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to or not to like. I was just going to
yes.
advise you. Yeah, look,
Yeah.
were you a friend of people like Goldie, Will, and all that? Because you have burnt some bridges. I don't know how else to tell you that immediately, right out the gate. I can't imagine. I think going up and insulting them personally without the Toon Critic thing would have done less damage. Because you'd have been like, I was just memeing, guy. I was having a bad day. You might have got away with that. But if you were legit thought that you were... Who did you reach out to? DeWilson?
He reached out to DeWilsonator, Golden Fox, and I think Keyframe.
Okay.
I'm not
Goldie's a
gonna
bro.
pick
He's a
Keyframe.
very forgiving guy. I don't know. Maybe you're gonna have to. I'd give him a lot of space and put out some feelers one day if you were a fan. But whew, I don't even know what to say to all this.
I don't know if you tried contacting them because you wanted to seem like Toon Critic and make them think he was back, or you wanted
No.
to, or did you
No.
forget to put the context of the fact that you're someone else? Like,
I'm pretty sure I forgot to clarify whom I was at the time.
if you should have clarified at the beginning, I'm not the actual Toon Critic, and I'm trying to make it. That would have made this so much easier.
Yeah.
Like, but you kept pretending and saying stuff like I'm Toon Critic, or like the minute you start saying you got a snowball mic, you're working on new video, everyone was up in arms. Like, I got message, like people in different chat rooms of mine were like, "Is he back? Is he back? Is he back?"
Yeah.
see why they put
you
stirrup
caused,
of
you
us.
caused. Oh no, you caused a tizzy. Like,
Oh baby. My word. I was confident. I was like, no. We're having this discussion again. If you were a troll, I would have just let it come out. Then I'm like, see, it's nothing. This has happened a couple times already. It's nothing to worry about. But again, we're having this discussion because
it was an oopsie boopsie.
Wait, were you drunk? Were you high? Because I'm trying to put this into characteristic that you
Maybe
contacted some of the people who were physically inconvenienced. Yes, I feel that I'm putting that as delicately as I can, and gave the air that you were a potential ex-abuser of theirs. Do you see where that would be horrifying?
Oh yes, I do see that.
Trying to be fair with you. This is a first time that this has happened in this form and manner. Again, geez, it's a lot to take in. I didn't exactly prepare a script. I didn't even look at those screenshots because based off of your Twitter, based off one paragraph, I was like, oh, I think I've got a general idea of what's going on here. I think. Is there any, again, I'm not picking on you, are there any impairments that may have... Were you impaired in any way, shape, or form while this was going on?
No, not at all.
Underslept? Is there this history of making really bad decisions based due to,
mental disabilities or
yeah,
anything like that?
I'm trying not to meme it up or anything like that, just,
Well, it's not exactly a meme. It is.
No, I understand. I'm just,
It's just basic talk.
Okay. So, there's nothing really wrong. This was just a really poor, isolated incident.
Just yes. More of a mere concept, terrible execution.
Well, if I take morality out of it, it's potentially something that would certainly get people talking, as it clearly defined. But from a altruistic standpoint, yes, terrible objectively. There's no way that this altruistically everybody was going to be like, even if you were dynamite, even if your editing skills were god tier, even if your mic was fantastic, even if your personality was amazing, you would have had to have buckled down, and there would have been a lot of pushback. I'm struggling to think of someone that you could have pretended to have been, and you could have been Lily Pete. You could have gone out, and people would have been like, "Oh, that's a pretty good impersonation." You might even have gotten Lily to laugh. That's more likely. That's more likely that Lily would have laughed and been like, "Oh, you precocious scamp, you!" The Toon critic thing. Oh. I would have said John Enner, but he can't laugh at anything. Cunt. But anyways,
But yeah, it's I don't know. I did explain it last night, but I guess to reiterate, I think I got to the point of why he wanted to do this, other than what we thought, because I talked to him last night and I said,
no, I saw the tweets. It was supposed to be some kind of way of rebranding and redealing the whole thing.
I meant his thought process of what got him to this point. I talked to him for a long time last night, and I'm like, wait a minute, you liked Toon, didn't you? You were disappointed in what happened, and it's like, he's like, yeah. It's like, you wanted to be Toon, didn't you? It's like, yeah. It's like, you looked up to him and
more
stuff,
or less.
and he kind of wanted to recreate the positive, because that flame did die. When that went out in the fandom, a lot of shit happened. And I think he wanted to bring something back, but in the end, using Toon Critic, no matter how you look at it, just isn't the way to do it.
Right.
There was enough baggage before Ground Zero that would have arguably been a bad enough idea where people would have looked at that and felt like really, ugh. So again, if you were just an edgy troll and you didn't care about people's feelings, and again, if you had the talent, the skill, and the nerve to go through pins and needles, you'd have a chance. But the whole idea of I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it my best and I will redeem the no. No, that's not possible.
There's nothing redeemable about a pedophile. I don't know how else to say that.
Well, you could give them the chair.
Yeah. There's a joke I'm dying to make, but I can't talk about it. Moving right along.
Oh my god.
Nope, we're not talking about that. Sorry.
No, we're not. I know.
Okay. All right. Jeez. I suppose you could pretend to be Horse News. That would be a better step in the right direction.
Oh my god.
You could pretend to be Corpulent Brony and be like, "Hi, I'm Corpulent and I'm back after the Slim Fast diet." I've slimmed down. Not only have I lost my physical weight, but all my excess baggage of a horrible, terrible person is shedded right off with me.
He did this though. He still has the art from Equistria Daily.
Yeah. Yeah, you could try redeeming Sophisto or something like that, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, just stay away from Toon Critic. That is taboo.
Yeah, I can give you a list of 10 people, but come back as Theory Brony, I guess, and just don't rip people off for like tens of thousands of dollars.
Be the new AJ.
No. That's there's a couple reasons that I don't feel like explaining at this moment. That's no. You seem like a cool guy, so I'm going to tell you not to redeem the British brony one. I think there are better ways to do than.
Even if you're already British, don't do it.
Seems fair.
Yeah, I guess you could go for some kind of regal kind of look. I suppose that might be fun. You know.
If you want, we could give you a red and black OC if you want.
No.
No.
No. Okay.
I'd much rather
I'm
have
just
it more.
imagining if you came in as the king or something like that, a bunch of British people going, "Would you look at this pretentious ass?" Calling himself the king.
No, wait, I know. It's like, you'll be back soon, you'll see.
Yeah, your tone is way like the I'm not going to analytically break that down, but are you familiar with Warhammer?
Warhammer.
Like, you could be the God Emperor of Man.
Oh my god. I remember that.
No, I'm not too familiar with that.
Okay, yeah, I'm just pitching different ideas here that just
Alright,
well, keep in mind here, remember, bronies are the least original things in the whole world. Take, for example, Voice of Reason is kind of like inspired by, or at least, kind of inspired by, what's his name, from that guy with the glasses,
Nostalgia Critic?
No, Linkara. He's because Linkara reviews the comics, and there were certain cadences and things and mannerisms that Voice borrowed from Linkara.
Lily P borrows from all around.
Well, yeah. Well, no. To quote my
Quote unquote.
to quote my Lord and Savior Jim Cornette, when you take one thing from one place, that's plagiarism. When you take it from everywhere else, that's research. So yeah.
See, I told you FNGR was awesome. Like, he's really chill when you talk to him. Like, there's no reason.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd be more of an asshole. That'd be more fun. But no, this is cool.
Much more
I
content.
already talked to him, so I already got a feel for him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool. And you know what? I'm sure that when you do hopefully put out some content, and you do hopefully get along and what have you, and maybe some people will reach out to you after this. Is it all right if I include your Twitter in this? Everyone, if I do put this out publicly, hopefully everyone will be civil and kind, and we'll just say that this. Everyone gets one mistake. This will be the one.
Yes.
Excellent.
Hopefully.
Okay. So I'm cool putting your Twitter up along with this video, correct?
Oh, yes.
All right, cool. So yeah,
by all means.
I have a Skype group. I'd be glad to I'll bring you along. We'll have a talk with you. We'll try and guide you in the future. Hopefully this again will be an isolated incident. Do you have any? Are you an artist at all, or what do you do, or just an intention to be an analyst?
I'd have to say my attention to detail is what makes my interest in. Oh my! I cannot speak today. My attention to detail is what makes my interest in analyzing things peak, so to speak.
Okay. Pardon. Damn hiccups.
It's okay.
You're excused.
Thank you. How old are you?
17.
Oh, okay. I was about to say you'd have been younger. We could have given this a complete mulligan. No. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that last night. He's almost 18.
Okay. Well then. Was there anything in those 15 pages of notes that you sent me that wasn't addressed here? Buttons.
Not that I can really think of at the moment.
All right. Wunderbar. Friend, again, if you have a Skype, you feel free to send it to me, and I could put you in with the crew. I have many friends who are dying to meet you.
Don't let them tear
marvelous.
him apart.
What? I'm going to freaking put up the video, hopefully. So, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah?
Do it before you let them at him.
Well, I do understand that Crystal Pony, who's a complete badass. What's her name?
Aria.
Aria's like, I want in there, and I was like, down, cinnamon roll. That's the crystal ball from the last thumbnail.
Oh my god.
Jesus. So
Sorry I made it a group DM. I just didn't know. I thought that this would be easier.
No, this works fine. Yeah. No.
Alright, sweet.
All right. So again, I'll wrap it up here. Feel free to contact me later on. I may put this on the third main or side channel. I don't know, or I might just go back to scripting. We'll see. I'll be in touch. And done.